everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Cindy. I am gonna be doing my April reading wrap-up. I read some great books this month I want to share with you. The very first book I finished reading in April was Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. This is a prequel to the Hunger Games series. This is about Hamish's story, and it was a well-written book. There were some plot twists and very clever storyline. Very clever. Everything connects now in the Hunger Games because of this book. And I learned how Hamish won his game and how everything is controlled by the government. I gave this book a 5 out of 5 stars. It was a great read. My heart was broken, but it was so well written. I also did a review video of this, so I will link it up for you to check it out. The Last Flight by Julie Clark. This is a mystery thriller about two women who happen to trade plane tickets on their encounter at the airport. They're both getting away from their life. I enjoyed this to the most because it was a nice idea of trading lives, kind of, with trading plane tickets. There were a little bit plot twists. Storyline was a little bit predictable, but it was doable because this was written in two persons' point of view, so you have a little background of each characters in their point of views. I gave this book a 4 out of 5 stars. Dark Prince by Christine Finhan. This is book 1 in the Dark series. This book was written in 1999, okay? And there are about 35 books in this series, and it's still ongoing. It's not stopping anytime soon. I was recommended this series by one of my coworkers. It has a very kind of old school views about vampire and the paranormal world, which I didn't mind because that was what I grew up in. That's what I'm used to, so it's kind of comforting reading this book, reading about this paranormal world. This book was set in 1999, so please set in mind that the series has some or a lot of red flags because the paranormal beings or the immortal beings in this series are the Carpathians. They are a very protective alpha male kind of male figures. They have lived centuries hunting vampires, and in order for them to not turn into bloodthirsty vampire is when they meet their life mate. When they meet their life mate, they can see color again. And this is the first book, so it's about the prince of the Carpathian who finally meets his life mate. And I like this series. I gave 4 out of 5. The Mountains Sing by Nguyen Van Huynh Mai. This is a historical fiction centered around a family that is trying to survive the Vietnam War and how they locate their family after the Vietnam War. And I can say this kind of topic is a little touchy for me because I am Vietnamese American, so the Vietnam War had a big impact on my family, and I try to hold back my thoughts on certain things when I read this book, even though there are certain things in this book that really but I'm not going to talk about politics in here because it's politics, that stays clear. I gave this book a 3 out of 5 stars. I think it's because I liked the storyline. It was tragic, but I didn't feel connected to the characters. The characters in this book felt a little more two-dimensional for me. The sentence structures are not that like complex as other books that have been written. It's very straightforward to the point, which is nice because it makes the story flow good, but it doesn't build color or depth to a story. Dark Magic by Christine Fahan. This is the fourth book in the Dark series. I jumped from the first book to the fourth book. This book is about the daughter of the couple in the Dark Prince book. She is paired up with one of the most powerful immortal being in the Carpathians. He has been waiting centuries to meet her, and when she was born, he knew that she was his mate. This might draw people back a little bit just because there is a huge age gap, but he didn't groom her. He just kind of stood afar and didn't push her to do anything. He just watched her grow. I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars. Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. This is the first book in the Throne of Glass series. I don't know what took me so long to read or start this series, and I'm very glad I started this year. I like it a lot more than A Court and Thorns of Roses series. Maybe because there was a 50-50 ratio in romance and fighting. And I really felt connected to the main character, which is Selena. She is a cool kind of like character you don't want to mess with because she's an assassin. I love that, and I even love that this story was once a fan fiction on Fiction Press, and it got so popular and so much attention that, you know, Sarah J. Maas got it published. Those are the books I read in April. Did you read any of them? Comment below. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for upcoming videos, and I'll see you in an upcoming video. Bye!